Alright, this is a weekly reading for Taurus. I have a playlist for you that's going to be at the bottom of the description. I'm going to give you one song for the reading's sake. We have Oasis-Wonderwall. So, if you've never heard that song, it was big in the 90s and big now for some reason. But, I feel like there's a lot here that's kind of low-key important, but high-key really distracting, alright? And kind of like that song, it's distracting when it comes on because you remember all the words. So, yeah, I feel like there might be some small details that you need to look at or you need to notice that will have great importance. Okay, so let's get into the reading with the first card, which is You Right Now, which is a race. A race is kind of like the Three of Wands for the sake of the reading. So we're going to go Three of Wands. So work and business, Aries in Sun. So discovering a new way, a stability, a job performance, and abilities, broad knowledge of the world, the thrill of negotiation and trade. So you might be trading something, you might have a broad knowledge of something or a world type of thing. Maybe it's like trade, or maybe it's finance, maybe it's something about politics. Maybe you know a lot about politics, or just like about work stuff or career stuff. Some people have weird knowledge of like different things, or they like have seen or heard some things, and it does relate to certain things that might be going on at the current moment. You never know, and it might raise a lot of questions of how you know this, so just be aware of that too. So let's see, I have a lot of channeled things. Like, I wasn't sure about half of this stuff, but we'll get to that later on, okay? So number 2, the week's theme, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is finance and health, which is Capricorn and Sun, so it might be somebody, coming in or whatever. So love of wealth, obsession with possessions, selfishness, inability to understand or support charity. So this is somebody coming out of left field. It could also be an Aries energy, or another earth sign. Okay, so just be aware of that. It could be a Virgo, or it could be a Taurus, Capricorn person. So just be aware of that. So, I feel like this is somebody's parent, if I'm not mistaken, but there might be a lot of different conversations about money or career, and it might be just like normal stuff you talk about with your parents, because they want what's best for you, but I feel like this is to the point where it's almost pushing the issue to a point of no return. Like, you almost feel attacked or nagged about it, and you kind of don't know what you want to do. A lot of people don't, and they just kind of wander the world until they find something that they want to do. Okay, so I feel like this person's kind of like poking you, trying to put you in the right direction, and maybe you're very different from your parents. Maybe you're very knowledgeable about other things, or you want to travel the world or something, but I feel like they want you to stay in like, one of those boring jobs and do boring things with your life, and you're just not having it. So it's going to be a tug of war of emotions and stuff. So just be prepared. It's nothing against you. They want what's best for you, and it might be very difficult for them to tell you exactly how they feel about it and how they were raised and things like that. It might have been a very critical time. They might also be kind of one of those people that kind of shuts down also when the thought of their own life comes forward. They didn't get to do what they wanted to do, so they're pushing you not to do what you want to do and just kind of be at a steady job. It's something to that effect, alright? So it's not against you, it's kind of old cycles die hard. Anyway, number 3, we have challenge, we have sweet, we have love, family, and relationships. So, the sweet is kind of like the Ten of Cups in reverse. So, it's, I think it's Pisces and Mars, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember all these things, so I'm trying my best to kind of give you an entertaining reading, but I didn't write down any information that was actually going to be critical for this, so I apologize. So false heart violence within the home, petty jealousies, rivalries, and loss of a friendship. But like I said, it's kind of on like the parental level. I'm not sure if your friend is more of like a parental type person or they come across as like a overprotective person or a parental guidance person. But it's like this person, they don't take no. They don't take, oh, I'm going to do my own thing type of thing. So it could be a parent or a friend. I don't know. But it could get to the point where you kind of want this person out of your life so you can continue doing what you're doing, because what you're doing doesn't concern them. It doesn't, you know, it's not anything that you want to stop doing, and if this person can't handle it, you want them out of your life. So it's going to be entirely a 360. And I feel like you haven't been in this power in a long time where you're kind of a no-nonsense type of Taurus person. Okay, so there's that. Number 4, we have a lesson to remember. We have the Tower. The Tower is sudden shocks, and it's a energy from Mars. Isn't that fun? So rapid change, failure in events, a failure in events that don't go as expected, beliefs that don't line up to their promises, anything unforeseen with the negative, setbacks, disaster, indicated, good friends turned bad, loss of money, security, in love, let's see, insanity, and disruption, an end of grace. So there's, like, I feel like this person that was telling you know, you need to get a steady job and stuff, kind of saw the entire tower fall, alright, and they just, like, had an inkling something was gonna happen, or something else was gonna happen, and they told you about it, and you're kind of like, you're crazy, that would never happen to me, I've made it this far, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden, everything that you built up falls apart. As soon as you break up a friendship with this person or a relationship or whatever the case may be, and you go silent, everything falls apart. Okay? It seems like the entire universe was like, this person was right, and everything just kind of tumbled down. Alright? And it might have taken you by surprise. You might kind of have to humble yourself and actually apologize to this person because they were looking out for you. But I feel like this is kind of a moment in your life to take stock. And it might come very hard. It might be a very tough thing to grasp. Okay? It might be a lot of confusion right now. So number 5, we have a lesson you will learn. We have the dream. The dream is represented by the 2 of Cups, for this sake anyway. We have love, family, and relationships. So we have the Cancer in Venus. So there's a love relationship here. So, a relationship between males and females, as well as between friends, discord with unity and happiness to follow, cooperation, marriage, and engagement, a mutual understanding, and a difference of opinions sometimes, or a delegation of opinions, you could put it that way. So a new friend or a relationship. So there's a different thing coming in. But I feel like this is going to strengthen one of your relationships that you have with somebody else that was looking out for you. Okay? Number 6. Number 6 is the gift you give yourself this week, which is the devil, the blackberries. So the devil is Capricorn. It deals with addictions and obsessions. So, subordinates, raging at will, all that is evil, bondage, failure, inability to obtain a goal, dependence to the point of ruin, violence, and destruction, things that go bump in the night, bad temper, with no humor unless malicious, unprecedented, strange occurrences, and temptation and adversity. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I think you wanted something to happen and it didn't, or you might have gotten rejected, or something at work happened, and it was just all falling apart. It was going from one extreme to the next. It was going like, it's good, I'm gonna get this promotion, and then it all falls apart. Instead of getting a promotion, you get fired. Okay, and it might be devastating, but it's that type of energy. Okay, so you might be going through a lot. You might be going through big changes or immediate changes. Okay, so it's gonna be a lot of stuff. So let's get into the confusing channeled messages. We have points towards a good, happy marriage, positive changes, new friends, promotions are likely. Then we have exercise caution and speculation about investments. So guard your investments. If you have money or you have gifts just sitting on your table, if there are any money, gifts whatsoever, or anything valuable, I would kind of tuck those away, because you don't want anybody raiding your stuff. Okay. Then we have something else. That's kind of well, I have like 2 that I found very confusing. They came out of nowhere. They're kind of interesting. So you will meet new friends that will influence your life greatly. Expect a comfortable lifestyle. So these are kind of people that are they need you for a particular reason or particular clause. What I mean by that is that your personality matches up with something that they're trying to do, but they might not have your charisma, personality, or, strive. Like, your strive is probably really good. Like, you're just like, I'm gonna go get this, we're gonna go do this, or we're gonna go and we're gonna ask them if they could do this for us. Like, you're that type of personality. So you're willing to take a risk for the greater good of whatever's going on. So we have expect change in career, love life, financial situation. Be wary of whom you trust. Gossip, slander may be troubling you. So there's a bit of gossip going on. I get gossip myself. But I get gossip to the point of people actually telling me about it. They go on my Twitter and they leave me a DM. So, yeah. I get a lot of DMs. Okay, so I know I'm relevant. But yeah, it really doesn't matter to me. I'm not too worried about it. If people are talking about me, it's whatever. So let's see. We have disaster, unable to cope with demands. So there might be a lot of stress planning a wedding, planning an event, planning something. There's some type of thing going on. A relationship therapist. So there's a lot of things you might have to talk about, a lot of things you might have to kind of have a new perspective on. I feel like that's a big one for you. Because you might have been single for a while, or you might have had like really toxic relationships before. So going to a therapist kind of gives you a new perspective, or it gives you advice and information you can use, or ways of approaching a particular thing you don't like, or thing that you need to talk about. Like, that's what therapists are for. They're there to kind of steer you in the right direction as far as opening the conversation. Okay, so that could be a point of stuff too. Okay, so there's a self-employed businessman or woman fighting about money. So there's a fight about money. There's also dirty money here. I wasn't sure who that was for, but I feel like you might be getting your money either the wrong way, from what another person thinks or feels, or maybe you're kind of on OnlyFans doing some stuff and having people pay for, certain things that they believe should be sacred between two people, and might be a problem. Or there might be other aspects of how you get your money. Okay, so. And then there's jealousy in a relationship. One of you could be famous, the other one probably is more introverted and doesn't show themselves in the public, such as myself. I do this out of choice. I'm more extroverted in public, but at home I'm kind of, I guess introverted. But I don't like people seeing my face and stuff because of, like, my ethnic, background of, being Native American and stuff. People know me because of how I look or whatever, so I don't want to put that online too much. But yeah, if you saw my parents, you'd be like, yeah, you're Native American. But if you saw me out in public, you'd be like, oh, you look Italian. But I look like many ethnicities in one, but I've never had a problem making friends or being part of a group, so that's kind of what it is. But I do feel like one of you is very jealous of the other as far as a relationship goes, or you might be jealous of a friend or somebody else. Um, if you're single or whatever, you want to be that person, or you want to deal with certain parts of the person's life that are more glamorous. But I must say, if you are in the spotlight, it's a lot harder to maintain a normal lifestyle than it is, like, if you were just, like, a plain Jane or Joe, just go to work every day, you come home. You might have a few friends that recognize you when you go out to eat or sees you in public and stuff. But that's about it. Like, you don't really get to the point of having fans, that are, stalker, or like they're obsessed, or they might have other things going on that are kind of to the extreme. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot to handle because people tell you personal things that you might have not known that the human spirit could handle. Okay, and it's really inspiring at the same time. It's really, like, off-putting because you're not one of those types of people that, like, can handle that type of recognition as well as knowing this knowledge about somebody else's life. It's really, a mantra moment of, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how to act, like, that type of thing. But like, you don't want to be off-putting. You kind of want to engage somebody in conversation that's been through some tough things. Because if you don't, you kind of look like an asshole and being popular. That is a problem because you want to be a human, but at the same time, you're like, I have plans. So you're kind of dividing your time between two different realities, you know what I mean? Um, anyway, like I always say, life is a journey. Um, and sometimes you're going to deal with hard things in your relationship, love life, in general. Um, you're going to deal with jealousy. You're going to deal with people that are just kind of, you know, but, you know, creation and shine. But I feel like you're making a lot of things happen for yourself. Okay, I think you're self-made or your person is self-made, so it might be very hard for them to step away from what they're doing to be 100% devoted to you or call you all the time or answer a text. But I feel like it's more out of a need from like you or the other person that you actually contact them to some degree. I feel like they might have had some trauma in other relationships and that emotional baggage was brought into your relationship. Okay? You need to let that go. You need to understand that if they didn't want to be with you, they wouldn't be with you. And usually, if they didn't want to be with you, the relationship usually breaks apart. Okay? If they're taking the time to go to relationship therapy and stuff like that, they see something in this relationship that they don't want to lose, alright? And that could be you, that could be other commitments in the relationship as well. So, you know, take it as, you know, what it is. It's a relationship that has many twists and turns, maybe a lot of hardships, maybe you need to communicate more. Maybe you need to leave notes around the house, make a scavenger hunt, or, you know, have some fun with your relationship. But, like, it takes a lot of time, okay? Alright, to, like, get to know somebody and get into a committed relationship, okay? And with that, there's a lot of twists and turns to keep that relationship going as it is. So, take your time. When you have time to spend with your person, I would spend it well. I would make memories while, you know, you see this person because you never know what's going to happen. You might be worried about this person and stuff like that. But if you're keeping a journal or you're keeping a scrapbook, you can always make a page. You can, you know, learn how to draw or make cards or whatever. And, you know, make your own tradition. You don't have to call this person all the time. Technology's not that important. You don't want to lose brain cells using that 24/7, trying to see what your person's doing 24/7. They could lose their job because you're calling them too much, so don't do that. You don't want them to be out of a job and then it's all your fault. But, you know, just tell them to call you when, like, they're on lunch break or they're on break or something, you know, just to talk or whatever. Because, you know, give them a little bit of freedom, but at the same time, tell them, you know, I'm always worried about you, whatever, and I have, you know, clingy, needy energy. Because if they know that, then they can spend a little bit more time telling you things or talking to you or leaving you little notes and things around the house. That's all you need to know, I think. But I feel like, you know, it could be avoided. But I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty and beliefs here that are kind of competing for first place. Okay? There could have been cheating, lying, stealing, other stuff going on. But I don't know the length of the relationship. So I do feel like there's a trust issue here. Okay? And it might be from old baggage from an old relationship, or it might be from something you may have done, or the fact that you're friends with one of your exes, which is kind of childish because you should get rid of all exes that could be competition for your current partner. It's not anything against your last your last ex-boyfriend, girlfriend, maybe you wanted to be friends or whatever, and that's what you left on, that commitment. But I feel like if it's going to be a competition for your current boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the situation is, I would cut ties with that person. So it's kind of a understood thing, like nothing's going to come between us. I cut off all ties with old baggage and old friends and old, exes, alright? Anyway, Taurus, hopefully this helps you out, alright? And I will see you in the next reading, alright? I hope everything goes alright with you and your person, okay? Later.